Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Anubha Rohatgi and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India accomplished unprecedented feat with administration of 86 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine in a single day. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister calls upon people to get vaccinated and stay safe. Do not lower guard, focus on vaccination and COVID-19 protocols, urges Prime Minister. Prime Minister advises people to support and encourage Olympic-bound athletes and not to pressurize them. Pays tribute to legendary athlete Milkha Singh. People should focus on rainwater harvesting amid ongoing monsoon, reiterates Prime Minister. India administers over 64,25,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses across the country in last 24 hours. National recovery rate improves to 96.75%. National Investigation Agency begins probe in 2 explosions at Air Force Station in Jammu. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reaches Ladakh on a 3-day visit. Zen Garden and Kaizen Academy inaugurated by Prime Minister at Ahmedabad in Gujarat. In women's cricket, India to lock horns with England in first of 3-match ODI series in Bristol today. And in Euro Cup football, Netherlands to clash with the Czech Republic while Belgium to take on Portugal tonight. As the nation gears up for free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said India accomplished an unprecedented feat when a record number of vaccine doses were administered to over 86 lakh people in a single day. Addressing the nation through his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio, Mr. Modi said the country achieved this feat on 21st June when the next phase of vaccination campaign commenced.
कोरोना के खिलाफ हम देशवासियों की लड़ाई जारी है, लेकिन इस लड़ाई में हम सब साथ मिलकर कई असाधारण मुकाम भी हासिल कर रहे हैं। अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही हमारे देश ने एक अभूतपूर्व काम किया है। 21 जून को वैक्सीन अभियान के अगले चरण की शुरुआत हुई और उसी दिन देश ने 86 लाख से ज्यादा लोगों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन लगाने का रिकॉर्ड भी बना दिया और वो भी एक दिन में। इतनी बड़ी संख्या में भारत सरकार की तरफ से मुफ्त वैक्सीनेशन और वो भी एक दिन में स्वाभाविक है, इसकी चर्चा भी खूब हुई है।
Mr. Modi stressed that efforts must continue to ensure that every citizen is able to avail the safety that the vaccine provides. He encouraged people to end vaccine hesitancy. He pointed out that myriad organizations and members of civil society have come forward in many places in order to end vaccine hesitancy. The Prime Minister spoke to some people from Dularia village of Betul district in Madhya Pradesh and allayed their misgivings about the vaccine.
क्या आपके मन में भी डर है?
जी सर, पूरे गांव में ऐसा भ्रम फैला दिया था सर।
अरे रे, ये क्या बात की आपने? देखिए राजेश जी, मेरा आपको भी और मेरे सभी गांव के भाई बहनों को यही कहना है कि डर है तो निकाल दीजिए।
जी,
हमारे पूरे देश में 31 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा लोगों ने वैक्सीन का टीका लगवा लिया है।
जी,
आपको पता है ना, मैंने खुद ने भी दोनों डोज लगवा लिए हैं।
जी सर।
अरे मेरी माँ तो करीब 100 साल की है, उन्होंने भी दोनों डोज लगवा लिए। कभी कभी किसी को इससे बुखार वगैरह आता है, पर वो बहुत मामूली होता है, कुछ घंटों के लिए ही होता है। देखिए, वैक्सीन नहीं लेना बहुत खतरनाक हो सकता है।
जी,
इससे आप खुद को तो खतरे में डालते ही हैं, साथ ही में परिवार और गांव को भी खतरे में डाल सकते हैं।
जी,
और राजेश, इसलिए जितना जल्दी हो सके वैक्सीन लगवा लीजिए और गांव में सबको बताइए।
The Prime Minister said someday people of villages and forest dwellers displaying their capabilities and understanding of the pandemic will become a subject of case study for the world. Cautioning against exercising any form of laxity, the Prime Minister called for focusing on vaccination and following COVID-19 protocols.
हमारे वनवासी आदिवासी भाई बहनों ने इस कोरोना काल में किस तरह अपने सामर्थ्य और सूझबूझ का परिचय दिया। गांव के लोगों ने क्वारंटाइन सेंटर बनाए, स्थानीय जरूरतों को देखते हुए कोविड प्रोटोकॉल बनाए। गांव के लोगों ने किसी को भूखा नहीं सोने दिया, खेती का काम भी रुकने नहीं दिया। नजदीक के शहरों में दूध, सब्जियां ये सब हर रोज पहुंचता रहे, ये भी गांव ने सुनिश्चित किया। यानी खुद को संभाला, औरों को भी संभाला। ऐसे ही हमें वैक्सीनेशन अभियान में भी करते रहना है। हमें जागरूक रहना भी है और जागरूक करना भी है। गांव में हर एक व्यक्ति को वैक्सीन लग जाए, ये हर गांव का लक्ष्य होना चाहिए।
Mr. Modi stated that innumerable people have been involved with the government and the administration at different levels to tackle COVID.
कोरोना के खिलाफ भारत की लड़ाई की एक बड़ी विशेषता है। इस लड़ाई में देश के हर व्यक्ति अपनी भूमिका निभाई है। मैंने मन की बात में अक्सर इसका जिक्र किया है, लेकिन कुछ लोगों को शिकायत भी रहती है कि उनके बारे में उतनी बात नहीं हो पाती है। अनेक लोग, चाहे बैंक स्टाफ हो, टीचर्स हो, छोटे व्यापारी या दुकानदार हो, दुकानों में काम करने वाले लोग हो, रेहड़ी पटरी वाले भाई बहन हो, सिक्योरिटी वॉचमैन या फिर पोस्टमैन और पोस्ट ऑफिस के कर्मचारी, दरअसल यह लिस्ट बहुत ही लंबी है और हर किसी ने अपनी भूमिका निभाई है। शासन प्रशासन में भी कितने ही लोग अलग अलग स्तर पर जुटे रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister remembered Guru Prasad Mohapatra, who was a secretary to the Government of India. He was admitted in the hospital for COVID. At the same time, the secretary was also performing his official duties.
The Prime Minister also spoke about legendary athlete Milkha Singh, who passed away due to COVID. He said he had urged Milkha Singh to boost the morale of players who are going to Tokyo Olympics to be held from next month, but unfortunately, Providence had other plans.
वो खेल को लेकर इतना समर्पित और भावुक थे कि बीमारी में भी उन्होंने तुरंत ही इसके लिए हामी भर दी, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य से नियति को कुछ और मंजूर था। मुझे आज भी याद है 2014 में वो सूरत आए थे। हम लोगों ने एक नाइट मैराथन का उद्घाटन किया था। उस समय उनसे जो गपशप हुई, खेलों के बारे में जो बात हुई, उससे मुझे भी बहुत प्रेरणा मिली थी। हम सब जानते हैं कि मिल्खा सिंह जी का पूरा परिवार स्पोर्ट्स को समर्पित रहा है, भारत का गौरव बढ़ाता रहा है।
Mr. Modi asked people to participate in the Road to Tokyo quiz to know about India's performances earlier and preparations for Tokyo Olympics.
ओलंपिक्स पर जो क्विज है, उसमें प्रश्नों के उत्तर देंगे तो कई सारे इनाम जीतेंगे। ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रश्न माय गॉव के रोड टू टोक्यो क्विज में है। आप रोड टू टोक्यो क्विज में भाग लें। भारत ने पहले कैसा परफॉर्म किया है, हमारी टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स के लिए अब क्या तैयारी है, ये सब खुद जाने और दूसरों को भी बताएं। मैं आप सबसे आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि आप इस क्विज कंपटीशन में जरूर हिस्सा लीजिए।
The Prime Minister said most sportspersons hail from smaller towns and villages. He said the team going to the Tokyo Olympics has many such players whose lives are very inspiring. He mentioned Praveen Jadhav, who hails from a village in Satara district of Maharashtra. He is very good at archery. His parents run the family by working as laborers, and now their son is going to participate in his first Olympics at Tokyo. The Prime Minister also mentioned Neha Goyal, who is a member of the women's hockey team going to Tokyo. Her mother and sisters manage family expenses by working in a cycle factory. The Prime Minister also spoke about Deepika Kumari, whose life has been full of ups and downs. Deepika's father drives an auto rickshaw and her mother is a nurse. Deepika is at present the only female archer from India in the Tokyo Olympics. The Prime Minister said players going to Tokyo faced scarcity of means and resources in their childhood, but persevered and endured with fortitude. He also mentioned C.A. Bhavani Devi, who is adroit at fencing. Bhavani, who hails from Chennai, is the first Indian fencer to qualify in the Olympics. Mr. Modi said Bhavani's mother had mortgaged her jewellery to continue her training. The Prime Minister stated that every player going to Tokyo has had their own share of struggles and years of toil. He said they are going not only for themselves but also for the country. Mr. Modi advised people to not pressurize these players knowingly or unknowingly, but support them with an open mind and bolster their enthusiasm. He asked them to send their wishes to these players with #CheerForIndia on social media.
हमें जाने अनजाने में भी हमारे इन खिलाड़ियों पर दबाव नहीं बनाना है, बल्कि खुले मन से इनका साथ देना है। हर खिलाड़ी का उत्साह बढ़ाना है। सोशल मीडिया पर आप #CheerForIndia के साथ अपने इन खिलाड़ियों को शुभकामनाएं दे सकते हैं। आप कुछ और भी इनोवेटिव करना चाहें तो वो भी जरूर करें। अगर आपको कोई ऐसा आइडिया आता है जो हमारे खिलाड़ियों के लिए देश को मिलकर करना चाहिए तो वो आप मुझे जरूर भेजिएगा। हम सब मिलकर टोक्यो जाने वाले अपने खिलाड़ियों को सपोर्ट करेंगे। cheer4India, cheer4India, cheer4India।
The Prime Minister said he considers water conservation as a form of service to the country. He asked people to focus on rainwater harvesting amid the ongoing monsoon.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, हमारे देश में अब मानसून का सीजन भी आ गया है। बादल जब बरसते हैं तो केवल हमारे लिए नहीं बरसते, बल्कि बादल आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए भी बरसते हैं। बारिश का पानी जमीन में जाकर इकट्ठा भी होता है, जमीन के जलस्तर को भी सुधारता है और इसलिए मैं जल संरक्षण को देश सेवा का ही एक रूप मानता हूँ। आपने भी देखा होगा, हम में से कई लोग इस पुण्य को अपनी जिम्मेदारी मानकर लगे रहे हैं।
Mr. Modi specially mentioned Sachidanand Bharti of Pauri Garhwal in Uttarakhand. Mr. Bharti is a teacher and has imparted very good education to the people through his deeds. Due to his hard work, the huge water crisis in the Ufrainkhal area of Pauri Garhwal has come to an end. Mr. Modi said everyone must take inspiration from all these efforts and conserve water in whatever way possible. He said this crucial period of monsoon season must not be missed. The Prime Minister quoted from scriptures saying, Nasti Moolam Anoshadham, that is, there is no such plant on earth which does not have any medicinal properties. Mr. Modi said the country celebrates National Doctors' Day on the 1st of July. This day is dedicated to the birth anniversary of the great doctor and statesman Dr. B.C. Roy. Mr. Modi expressed gratitude for the contribution of doctors in the corona period. He also said there are many people in the country who have come forward and worked to help the doctors.
कोरोना काल में डॉक्टर्स के योगदान के हम सब आभारी हैं। हमारे डॉक्टर्स ने अपनी जान की परवाह न करते हुए हमारी सेवा की है। इसलिए इस बार नेशनल डॉक्टर्स डे और भी खास हो जाता है। साथियों, मेडिसिन की दुनिया के सबसे सम्मानित लोगों में से एक हिपोक्रेट्स ने कहा था, Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. यानी जहाँ आर्ट ऑफ मेडिसिन के लिए प्रेम होता है, वहाँ मानवता के लिए भी प्रेम होता है। डॉक्टर्स इसी प्रेम की शक्ति से ही हमारी सेवा कर पाते हैं। इसलिए हमारा ये दायित्व है कि हम उतने ही प्रेम से उनका धन्यवाद करें, उनका हौसला बढ़ाएं। वैसे हमारे देश में कई लोग ऐसे भी हैं जो डॉक्टर्स की मदद के लिए आगे बढ़कर काम करते हैं।
The Prime Minister gave the example of one such attempt from Srinagar, where a boat ambulance service was started at Dal Lake. This service was started by Tariq Ahmed Patlu of Srinagar, who is a houseboat owner.
The Prime Minister said Chartered Accountants Day is also celebrated on the 1st of July. He extended his best wishes to all chartered accountants and their family members. The Prime Minister Modi said 15th August is also approaching and Amrit Mahotsav of 75 years of independence is a big inspiration.
15 अगस्त भी आने वाला है। आजादी के 75 वर्ष का अमृत महोत्सव हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा है। हम देश के लिए जीना सीखें। आजादी की जंग देश के लिए मरने वालों की कथा है। आजादी के बाद के इस समय को हमें देश के लिए जीने वालों की कथा बनाना है। हमारा मंत्र होना चाहिए इंडिया फर्स्ट। हमारे हर फैसले, हर निर्णय का आधार होना चाहिए इंडिया फर्स्ट। साथियों, अमृत महोत्सव में देश ने कई सामूहिक लक्ष्य भी तय किए हैं। जैसे हमें अपने स्वाधीनता सेनानियों को याद करते हुए उनसे जुड़े इतिहास को पुनर्जीवित करना है। आपको याद होगा कि मन की बात में मैंने युवाओं से स्वाधीनता संग्राम पर इतिहास लेखन करके शोध करने इसकी अपील की थी।
The Prime Minister also read a letter by Thiru R. Guruprasad from Chennai, who appreciated that Mr. Modi spoke about Tamil culture in Mann Ki Baat. Mr. Modi further stated that every Indian should cherish and feel proud that the most ancient language of the world, Tamil, belongs to India. The Prime Minister said there is an interesting quiz based on today's Mann Ki Baat episode in the Namo app. In a tweet, Mr. Modi urged everyone to take part in it.
India has administered over 64,25,000 vaccine doses to eligible adults across the country in the last 24 hours. With this, more than 32 crore 17 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said that the country reported 50,040 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. A total of 57,944 patients also recovered from the infection during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recoveries to more than 2 crore 92 lakh 51,000. The country has registered further improvement in the recovery rate, which has now increased to 96.75%. In the last 24 hours, 1,258 deaths were also reported in the country.
The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that more than 1 crore 15 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered to the beneficiaries. The ministry has said the central government has provided over 31 crore 51 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. The ministry has assured that over 20 lakh 48,000 vaccine doses will be provided to states and union territories within the next 3 days. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India accomplished unprecedented feat with administration of 86 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine in a single day. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister calls upon people to get vaccinated and stay safe. Do not lower guard, focus on vaccination and COVID-19 protocols, urges Prime Minister. Prime Minister advises people to support and encourage Olympic-bound athletes and not to pressurize them, pays tribute to legendary athlete Milkha Singh. People should focus on rainwater harvesting amid ongoing monsoon, reiterates Prime Minister. India administers over 64,25,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses across the country in last 24 hours. National recovery rate improves to 96.75%. National Investigation Agency begins probe in 2 explosions at Air Force Station in Jammu. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reaches Ladakh on a 3-day visit. Zen Garden and Kaizen Academy inaugurated by Prime Minister at Ahmedabad in Gujarat. In women's cricket, India to lock horns with England in first of 3-match ODI series in Bristol today, and in Euro Cup football, Netherlands to clash with the Czech Republic, while Belgium to take on Portugal tonight. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
2 explosions within a gap of few minutes rocked the Air Force Station at Jammu around 1:45 a.m. today. The area was sealed off by security forces within minutes. Senior officials, police and forensic experts rushed to the scene. According to a defense spokesperson, there is no injury to any personnel or any damage to any equipment. Meanwhile, experts belonging to the National Investigation Agency NIA reached the technical area of Jammu Air Force Station to assist in the investigations. The NIA team has since left the Air Force Station premises after visiting the explosion site. Earlier, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh spoke to Vice Air Chief Air Marshal H.S. Arora regarding the incident at the Air Force Station. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reached Leh today on a 3-day visit to Ladakh. He will inaugurate several bridges built by the Border Roads Organization tomorrow. The Defence Minister is accompanied by the Chief of Army Staff, General M.M. Naravane, during his visit. On arrival, Mr. Singh interacted with war veterans and ex-servicemen in Leh. Here is a report.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh interacted with over 300 war veterans and ex-servicemen in Leh on arrival for a 3-day visit in Leh, Ladakh region. Uploading their contributions for the country, Rajnath Singh bowed to the gathering. Minister said it is responsibility of the government to keep the ex-servicemen happy and make every effort to resolve grievances.
कुछ बहुत सारे ऐसे कारण होते हैं कि हम उसको पूरा न कर पाए, उसका हल, उसको रिजॉल्व हम न कर पाए, यह भी होता है। लेकिन इसका अर्थ यह नहीं लगाया जाना चाहिए कि हमारी यह ख्वाहिश नहीं है, हमारी यह इच्छा नहीं है कि हम इसको रिजॉल्व न करें। यदि आज नहीं रिजॉल्व हुई है तो कल वह रिजॉल्व होकर रहेगी, ऐसा मेरा पूरा विश्वास है।
Minister Rajnath Singh interacted with all the gathered veterans and inquired about their health during the COVID pandemic and otherwise. Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Naravane, Ladakh Lieutenant Governor R.K. Mathur, Northern Command GOC Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, Fire and Fury GOC Lieutenant General P.G.K. Menon, Ladakh MP Jameng Sering Namgyal also present in the interaction. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurated a Japanese Zen garden and Kaizen Academy at the Ahmedabad Management Association AMA today. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said both India and Japan share historic cultural ties as well as common vision for the future.
जैन गार्डन और काइजन एकेडमी के लोकार्पण का ये अवसर भारत जापान के संबंधों की सहजता और आधुनिकता का प्रतीक है। मुझे विश्वास है कि जापानी जैन गार्डन और काइजन एकेडमी की ये स्थापना भारत और जापान के रिश्तों को और मजबूत करेगी, हमारे नागरिकों को और करीब लाएगी।
President Ramnath Kovind today appealed to the people to take COVID-19 vaccine and motivate others to get vaccinated. He said the central and state governments have launched vaccination drive and it is the only shield against the coronavirus. The President was speaking at a function at his birthplace Paronk in Kanpur Dehat district of Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Kovind is on a 5-day visit to the state. Mr. Kovind especially mentioned his journey from Delhi to Kanpur in a presidential train and said that during the journey he got the chance to witness the development of railways. He said that freight corridor started on this route is very important for the economic growth of the country.
मैं चाहता हूं कि रेलवे ने जो विकास कार्य किए हैं उसको आप देखें और सबसे बड़ी अच्छी बात जो मुझे नजर आई रास्ते भर मैं देखता था कि जो फ्रेट कॉरिडोर बना है 2 लाइनों का वो जो व्यापार से संबंधित है भारत की जो अर्थनीति है जो इकोनॉमी है उसको बढ़ाने में ये हमारा जो फ्रेट कॉरिडोर बना है रेलवे द्वारा वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है उसके परिणाम अभी हमें कुछ ही वर्षों में दिखाई पड़ने लगेंगे।
Governor Anandiben Patel along with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also present on the occasion. More from our correspondent.
After a long gap, President Ramnath Kovind today reached his birthplace, Paronk, and received a warm welcome by the local people. At Paronk, Matri Pitri Guru Devo Bhav program was organized to felicitate the teachers and parents. Family members, friends, and close associates of President were present on the occasion. President Ramnath Kovind also inspected the Jhalkari Bai Inter College of Paronk, which was started by him way back. He also visited the temple of local deity Patri Devi and Ambedkar Milan Kendra. President later attended a function in Pukhraya town of Kanpur Dehat district and met old friends there. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Kanpur Dehat.
In the Union Territory of Puducherry, the swearing-in ceremony of 5 cabinet ministers will be held at the Lieutenant Governor's office at Rajnivas at 2:30 p.m. today. More in this report.
President Ramnath Kovind gave his approval to the list of cabinet members submitted by the Chief Minister Rangasamy to the Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan earlier this week. The new ministers will be A. Namachivayam, A.K. Sai J. Saravanan Kumar from BJP and K. Lakshmi Narayanan, C. Jayakumar and Chandra Priyanka from All India NR Congress. The Chief Minister Rangasamy returns to power for the fourth time to lead the NDA government. Chandra Priyanka from Karaikal region is the first timer and a woman accommodated in the cabinet after 4 decades. Sai J. Saravanan also the first time minister. Chandra Mohan, Air News, Puducherry.
In women's cricket, India will lock horns with England in the first one-day international of the 3-match series at the County Ground in Bristol today. The match will begin at 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. All eyes will be on the 17-year-old debutante Shafali Verma after her brilliant performance in the one-off test that ended in a draw.
In the Euro Cup football, Netherlands will clash with the Czech Republic tonight in the pre-quarterfinal stage. The match will be played at the Ferenc Puskás Stadium in Budapest and will kick off at 9:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In another encounter, contenders Belgium will take on defending champions Portugal in the round of 16 clash tonight. The game will be played at the Estadio de la Cartuja in Seville and will kick off at 12:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Last night, Denmark defeated Wales 4-0 in Amsterdam to gain a spot in the quarterfinals. In another match, Italy beat Austria 2-1 with extra time goals in London to reach the last night.
With less than 27 days to go for Tokyo Olympic Games, All India Radio today is featuring wrestler Ravi Dahiya, the reigning Asian champion and one of the top contenders for a medal at Tokyo 2020.
Born on December 12, 1997 in Sonipat, Haryana, Ravi took up wrestling from a tender age and was supported by his father. He grew up fine-tuning his game at the Mecca of Indian wrestlers, the Chhatrasal Stadium in New Delhi. Ravi trained in New Delhi under the wing of renowned coach Satpal Singh from the age of 10. The 23-year-old shot to fame at the 2015 Junior World Wrestling Championships in Salvador de Bahia as he returned with a silver in the 55 kg category. He was sidelined with shoulder injury for a year in 2017, but Ravi bounced back and clinched the silver medal at the Under-23 World Championship the very next year. He booked the Olympic ticket in 2019 during the World Wrestling Championships, where he first defeated European champion Arsene Harutyunyan in the first round before toppling former world champion Yuki Takahashi in the quarterfinal. Ravi finally settled for bronze as he lost to eventual gold medalist Zor Yugev in semi-final. Ravi has been incredibly consistent ever since then, as after remaining unbeaten in 2019 Pro Wrestling League in India, he followed it up the impressive performance with a gold medal at the 2020 Asian Wrestling Championships. Sports Desk, AIR News.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. The national capital Delhi is witnessing thunderstorm with rain. The minimum temperature was 27 degrees and the maximum may go up to 39 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Srinagar is having partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards the afternoon or evening or night. Leh is having a partly cloudy sky. The minimum and the maximum temperature will be between 10 and 25 degrees Celsius. Gilgit has a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 13 and 33 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad has mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Guwahati has generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Agartala, the minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. In Itanagar, the minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. In Gangtok, the minimum temperature was 17 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 26 degrees. Kohima is having a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Imphal is also having a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Dehradun is having a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or dust storm.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India accomplished unprecedented feat with administration of 86 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine in a single day. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister calls upon people to get vaccinated and stay safe. Do not lower guard, focus on vaccination and COVID-19 protocols, urges Prime Minister. Prime Minister advises people to support and encourage Olympic-bound athletes and not to pressurize them. Pays tribute to legendary athlete Milkha Singh. People should focus on rainwater harvesting amid ongoing monsoon, reiterates Prime Minister. India administers over 64,25,000 COVID-19 doses in last 24 hours. National recovery rate improves to 96.75%. National Investigation Agency begins probe in 2 explosions at Air Force Station in Jammu. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reaches Ladakh on a 3-day visit. Zen Garden and Kaizen Academy inaugurated by Prime Minister at Ahmedabad in Gujarat. In women's cricket, India to lock horns with England in first of 3-match ODI series in Bristol today. And in Euro Cup football, Netherlands to clash with the Czech Republic while Belgium to take on Portugal tonight. And with that, we end the midday news.